Hello? Yeah, just got back from my doctor's appointment. Yeah, back from my doctor's appointment, yeah. Yeah, I got a lot of food allergies. I'm allergic to cinnamon. I'm allergic to apples. I'm allergic I'm allergic to pears, bananas. I'm allergic to parsley. I'm allergic to dill. Yeah. Yeah, I'm allergic to some rare tree nut that I've never eaten. It's in the Amazon. I forgot the name of it. Yeah, the doctor said that my food allergy testing came back, and I'm allergic to a strange tree nut in the Amazon. Allergic to chocolate? No, he said I can have. He said I can have chocolate. Allergic to grapes? No, he said I wasn't allergic to grapes. I got some wine tonight. I'm gonna have some pizza. Yeah, he said don't eat grapes though. My doctor said don't eat grapes because of too much sugar. But he said I can have a glass of wine. He just said don't eat grapes, but I can have a glass of wine. Yeah. He says I'm allergic to cabbage and I'm allergic to broccoli rabe. Broccoli rabe, I don't even eat broccoli rabe. And I haven't had cinnamon in a long time. He says I'm allergic though. What else? He said I was allergic to celery. So I guess I'm not going to drink that or eat it. I had celery in my tuna fish sandwich. And I didn't have a problem. Yep. He said I can drink wine as long as I don't eat the grapes because too much sugar in the grapes. What else am I allergic to? Ragweed, but I don't understand that one really. I'm not eating any ragweed. And I'm allergic to coriander. Well, am I eating a pizza? Yeah, he said I have a gluten allergy, but he wasn't concerned. He was more concerned about nightshades. He didn't want me to eat nightshades, so I told the pizza place to put just a little bit of sauce on here. This is mainly just a cheese pizza. And the doctor said, as long as I'm light on the sauce, and I should be okay. He said I should have all the cheese I want. My test came back where I wasn't allergic to cheese, so I'm having a cheese pizza. And he said I'm not allergic to chocolate, so I'm going to have some of my chocolate bar tonight. You know, after the pizza and you relax, and later on I'm going to have some chocolate. And, oh yeah, he said I was allergic to onions and allergic to garlic. I told them no onion and no garlic on my pizza. Okay. Yeah, I want to start eating though, and you had me on this phone for so long. Yeah, well, look. I'm going to have some wine, have some pizza. My food allergy test has a whole bunch of other stuff on there. There's like 30 things I'm allergic to. 30 foods. 30 fruits and 30 vegetables. He says I'm not allergic to peanut butter. I can eat all the peanut butter I want. Okay. I don't know how the test works. All I know is that I've eaten these. Well, I don't know. I haven't eaten I don't even eat some of the foods that were on the test. No. It was the strangest thing I've ever seen. But I believe in my doctor. I just spilled wine everywhere. I believe in my doctor. Okay. All right. So I'm going to have some wine. I have to move on with everything. Thanks for calling me. I really appreciate it. Okay. All right. Bye. We're live! Live. The food allergy thing is insane. It's funny. How does anybody know what you're allergic to when they don't know what causes chronic illness until Medical Medium books came out? Whether anybody likes it or not, the reason we know about anything to do with viruses regarding autoimmune or anything, it all was published in Medical Medium first. By the way, this is the new edition, you guys. It's 53% off at Amazon.com. I'm not in charge of the pricing. 53% off. It's the new edition, revised and expanded. Grab a copy if you can. It's $17. I mean, it costs more to print the book. How do they know what you're allergic to when they don't know why anybody's been sick for all these decades? They don't know why you have chronic fatigue syndrome. They don't know unless they learn about Epstein-Barr causing it. But that's MM info, all original MM info. If they don't know what causes your lupus and your fibro and your Hashimoto's and your eczema and your psoriasis and all your other conditions, why is it they seem to know so much about everything else? So much about all your food allergies. No one even thought anybody was allergic to wheat on any level back in the day years ago. I got a $500 test, allergy test. Yeah, those tests are crooked. Sue, totally crooked. They are. They always have been. Unless you're going into your throat is swelling from something. That's different. You eat something and your throat swells up and you're going into anaphylaxis. That's an entirely different situation. Yeah, oxalates is another BS myth. It really is. It's another BS myth. And the whole thing, you guys have to know. You have to know how things are working with this food allergy thing. It's such a thing. You know, let me tell you about anaphylaxis. Why does anybody even have anaphylaxis? Why does it even happen? Like, how does it even happen? I'll tell you how. It means somebody was exposed to something from the outside of the body going in, and not orally. They were exposed from something going in, right? This is why I tell people I tell doctors, do not give your patients B12 shots. I tell doctors all the time, do not give your patients B12 shots. Don't do it. Eventually, they will become allergic to B12 because it's entering out from the outside of the body in. I'm not talking about intravenous where they go into the vein. That's different. It doesn't trigger off the alarm bells. But when it goes in from the outside of the body in, like a B12 injection or an antibiotic through injection like this, when it goes in that way, you can build an allergy. And that's the whole point. That's what happens with penicillin. People become allergic to penicillin because somehow, some way, it was in a needle and went into somebody. Even as a baby, it was in a needle and went into somebody. That's how you become allergic to penicillin. That's how come you become allergic to... That's what, there's so many reasons. But I'm not talking about intravenous. That's different. I'm talking about, when you get a B12 shot. I tell doctors all the time, B12 has to be oral. Has to be oral. Has to be. Whatever B12 you choose, whether it's a real crappy one or an amazing one. That's the Vimergy one, Vimergy.com, right? Vimergy, and I'm not sponsored. But it's just the one I use for myself and my family because it's the best one on the market. But if you use a crappy B12, you still want to use it orally. You want to use it orally. You don't want to get it into a needle and it being injected into you. You don't want to. You don't want to. Because what happens is you'll become sensitive. Your body will build an antibody to the B12 and you will become sensitive to B12. And then you won't methylate. You won't methylate. I talk about that all the time. That's the Vimergy B12 though. That's the one I take orally. Because people ask me every day, what B12 do you take? And it drives me crazy because I always tell everybody and it's like nobody heard it. That's the Vimergy one. V as in Victor, I, M as in Mary, E-R-G-Y. Pope Gina says, I so appreciate you. I really appreciate you too. Okay? And when it comes down to hives is a whole different story. Hives is your liver being intoxified by all these different pathogens, streptococcus. That's when you have all that bad yeast and mold in the system, and you have strep, low-grade viruses in your liver, and it all builds up, and then it spews out every now and then, and you got hives, and you don't know when they come, why they come, how it works. Yeah. Health with Liz, I know. It keeps buffering, right? Your IG? Yeah, they're just today, I'm so, they've just kicked everybody off. I couldn't even get anybody on Facebook, which is unbelievable. Nobody got notified. So yeah, the whole point is, and that's what happens when you're dealing with the truth, when you're doing stuff that's powerful, it's truth, people are healing around the world. Yeah, your censorship is insane. But the point is, the bottom line, MD with Spirit, you made it this time. You're able to comment. They wouldn't let you comment on Facebook. It drives me crazy them repeating the same answer over and over again. Yeah, I know about the B12. But this is important information to know. Because if everybody is so smart with the food allergies, then why are they just okaying the B12 shot? That's a prime example. Why are they even okaying the B12 shot? If everybody's so smart with food allergies, but they don't know why anybody's even sick, because medical medium information taught everybody about Epstein-Barr, it being the Epstein-Barr virus causing your fibro, causing your vertigo, causing your tinnitus, causing your conditions, right? It was the Epstein-Barr virus involved here. You got your new MM900 HTS? Incredible. It's such an incredible juicer. And then they'll tell you nightshades are causing RA. Or nightshades are causing gout. Are you kidding me? It's amazing that even after all these years, all the work I've done to let everybody know that nightshades do not get in the way. That's not why somebody's sick. There'll be a new foal coming out, a new person in the medical field, a new person that's a podcast doctor, a new person who's a health professional. They'll sit around and they'll garble the same old crap that confuses people, which is nightshades are bad for you and they cause inflammation. Are you kidding me? It's not the tomato that causes the inflammation. It's what else is the tomato involved with? Is it the gluten? Because the gluten will feed your pathogens and cause inflammation. Is it the cheese? The cheese in your Parmesan, your chicken Parmesan with the tomato sauce, your pizza with all the oil and garbage that's in the pizza and the gluten in the crust. It's all of that. It's not a fresh tomato. Fresh tomato doesn't cause the problem at all. You guys, by the way, Robin, you talking about gastroparesis, question mark, praying hands? Gastroparesis I talk about in Cleanse to Heal. It's another book that's on sale. I mean, you guys got to check it out. The Cleanse to Heal. You can get it free at the library, but the waiting list is long from what I'm hearing. I'm just saying. But you get the free at the library, but right now it's $16.99. Amazon, this one's $17. I just can't even believe it. So everybody's such a genius, right? They don't know why everybody's sick. No one knows why anybody's got the autoimmune. It's all guesswork. They say it's genes. They don't know why foods interfere. But then you got these practitioners that do all the food allergy tests. And they'll just give you a whole bunch of different things that you're allergic to. They don't even know why you're even sick. And then you got the guys on the scene saying, stay away from nightshades, parroting the same misinformation over and over again. Yeah, if you get sensitive to a pepper, the only way to do it, it's got to be a green pepper to get sensitive to it because it's not ripe. If you eat a pepper that's not red, you're eating an unripe food. If you're eating a banana that's not yellow with spots, you're eating an unripe food. I thought potatoes were fine, but guess they're not. No, potatoes are amazing. It's the nightshade misinformation out there. So I don't want you getting confused. I'm pro-potato, pro-tomato, pro-pepper. I'm pro these things. And here's what's wrong out there. This is a prime example of all misinformation out there right now. Is if you eat the pepper green, that's when you can get an upset stomach. If you eat the tomato when it's not ripe, that's when you can get an upset stomach. But it's like that with everything, not nightshades. It's like that with every single thing practically. You can't eat a mango unless it's ripe. You can't eat a papaya unless it's ripe. You're going to get a bellyache. You can't eat an apple unless it's ripe. You're going to get a bellyache. Check out my potato podcast, Medical Medium Podcast at Apple Podcasts. You guys, listen to the potato episode. Listen to the B12 episode. Sat Guru says, I love nightshades, laugh out loud. Awesome. Guys, we're live on TikTok. We're live on IG. Right here, we're live on Clubhouse at the same time, letting you guys know. Green plantain. you're going to get a bellyache. Someone's going to get a bellyache. Green banana. You're not supposed to eat a green banana. You're just gonna rip your digestive system apart over time. Worst advice ever is to eat a green banana. Green banana is disastrous on the intestinal lining. Disastrous. So those are you can't eat things that are unripe. You can't. And because if you do, you're gonna get a bellyache. Nightshade's heal. You seem fine to me, Chris. Kathy Hart says, people with Hashimoto's are not supposed to eat nightshade vegetables. Yeah, by people are saying that don't know why you have Hashimoto's. So how do they know? Here you get professionals that don't know why anybody has Hashimoto's thyroiditis, but they'll tell you you can't eat nightshades. They'll tell you you can't eat cruciferous vegetables when they don't know why you have Hashimoto's thyroiditis. Hashimoto's is caused by Epstein-Barr virus. I wrote books about it. It's in here, the new edition. When you learn why you have Hashimoto's, you can then find answers and realize that nightshades have nothing to do with it. You can have all the gurus you want. You can pile them all up. Big mountain of gurus. Big mountain of doctors, podcast doctors, gurus, everybody. Pile them up, pile them up. Doesn't matter. They all say the same thing. Can't have nightshades. Can't have this, can't have that. But they don't know why you're sick. That is true, unless they're practicing using medical medium information, which doctors are doing out there. You can eat potatoes. You got to steam them. You can't put oil on them. You can't. That's when you get a little bit in trouble. You can't put butter on them. You can't put butter on your potatoes. Because this is what happens right here. You take your potatoes, okay, and you put grease on them or butter and gravy, then you have a different beast now. Now you have an issue with your potato. And it's not the potato's fault. The potato's the good part. It's the grease, it's the butter, it's the cheese on the potato that gets you in trouble. That's what gets you in trouble right there. That's what gets you in trouble. Funny, I had pizza with wine for dinner and just had a piece of chocolate. Mel, everybody does. But listen, maybe you're not sick. If you're not sick, you're having some fun. If you ever get sick down the road, you know that, hey, maybe the wine and pizza is not going to be a good thing. Allergy test says otherwise. See, the allergy test, what they do is they'll tell you you're allergic to all these foods. But it's not correct 90% of the time. The 10% they're correct is by chance. The 90% they're wrong is by just a faulty test. It's a faulty test. I had a patient yesterday that has mutilating RA and has avoided nightshades for years and still has decompensated. Yeah. The nightshades is not in the way for RA. The nightshades do not cause a problem with gout. Do you know what causes a problem with gout? You want your gout really bad. You want your RA really bad. You want something really bad. You want bad health. You want more problems. You want issues. You know what? Do lots of vinegar. Make sure you do lots of apple cider vinegar, and you'll be sucking it out bad. You'll be sucking it out bad. You'll be hurting bad. You'll be just getting worse and getting worse and getting worse. And if you've got RA and you've got problems and you got eczema and you got psoriasis, then eat your chocolate and you will be hurting more and more as time goes on. The caffeine will hurt you bad. What about lectins? Lectins is not an issue at all. How is it that tens of thousands of people healed with medical medium information from debilitating diseases and they didn't even think about a lectin? How is that possible? I got people that get out of wheelchairs, get their lives back from multiple sclerosis, and I have them on fresh tomatoes. Husband healed from serious gout with medical medium, Mrs. Julie Jane. How is that possible? Miss Julie Jane, was your husband worried about lectins? No, right? The whole lectin myth was just to sell lectin products. And that's the thing, you guys. The people behind the lectins don't even know why anybody's sick. Lectins aren't a problem. They're in everything. And they're not a problem. They're a non-issue. See, here's what's funny. If you're not so sick, you can play in the land. Play in the land of lectins. Play in the land of apple cider vinegar. Play in the land of nightshades are bad for you. Go ahead. Those are all fraud. That's all fraud. That's how it works. Play in the land of fraud. If that's what you want to do. Right? If you're not so sick, or not sick at all, you can play in the fraudulent areas. That like cruciferous is bad for your thyroid. Fraud. Nightshades are bad for your gout and RA and bad for you. Fraud. You want to play in those areas. Apple cider vinegar is good for you. Fraud. Kombucha tea is good for you. Fraud. Listen to the Apple Cider Vinegar podcast, medicalmedium podcast at Apple Podcasts for the Apple Cider Vinegar podcast. So, yeah, lectins is just to crank the money in, man. Lectin stuff banked a lot of people's pockets, filled a lot of people's pockets. That lectin stuff, just, man, did that filled some pockets. They're putting out ads. They're running $500,000 in ads a month for things like that. For collagen, people are running millions of dollars of ads a month to get you guys suckered into everything. It's how it is. But you know what? It's all fun and games if you're not sick and you want to play around in that land and you want to play in that fraud land. And it's all fun and games, but it's a massive cult out there. They all just say the same thing. It's a huge cult. Freedom through spirit. I used to say I have lots of food allergies, intolerances, IgG tests. Now I know I have none. That's right. Only foods that heal are foods that feed viruses and pathogens. Both cause reactions, symptoms. Brilliant. You know what? You're a highly intelligent person. You understand the medical information. Dr. Fon, MD with Spirit. Did you hear that comment I just read? Person's really, 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 really smart. Totally right on. Totally gets it. Totally gets it. Smarter than any doctor out there. All the doctors out there that are parroting the same thing. Your autoimmune's genetic. Get off of nightshades. Maybe that can help. Here, take some colostrum. Take some collagen. Do some apple cider vinegar. That can help. Funny how they call us the cult when they are the cult. Oh my God, Amelia, they are such the cult. Such the cult. They're the cult because they're the ones that are just the PR marketing, the tons of money going in. The amount of money they're dumping in to brainwash. Such a cult, man. And they all say the same thing. Cacao's good for you. Caffeine's good for you. Apple cider vinegar's good for you. Kombucha tea's good for you. It's a cult. It's like all this stuff that turns your blood into acid and just ruins your teeth, ruins your health over time. It's a cult out there. It's incredible, really. The science cult is really, really bad. Is it true fruit contains a lot of glutamate? No, it's not true. My son is autistic, so we steer away from glutamate. That's really sad. I mean, listen to your doctor. Do what your doctor tells you. But if it was my son, fruit helps. And just listen to some of the people in the medical medium community. And listen to them. Trinity. Find Trinity. Okay? And she's got a podcast too. Find Trinity. She healed her son, who was autistic, and the improvements have been just incredible and through fruit. So check her out. Medical Medium Mommy, Trinity, find out. And what she'll tell you is that's all a lie out there to keep fruit away from children. Misinformation. It's really sad. Truly sad. It really is. You guys, I'm making a dish. I'm making some nori rolls, so let me just get working on that too. Let me move the pizza. I'll eat that later. I'll eat the pizza later. Let me move the wine out. Are you guys okay if I move the wine out? Yeah? All right? So, it's not... you guys, everybody's an expert. Everybody's an expert, but yet nobody knows why anybody's sick. You know when you find that out? Guess when you find that out? When you're too sick. So Redel Terme on IG says your community is a cult as well. I think I got an appointment with your psychiatrist. Unless you're telling somebody else that. Red letter May, that's right. Well, you know, I think a call's coming in right now. I think I have an appointment with your psychiatrist. I think I do. Red letter May. I think your psychiatrist was calling me, from what I remember. But maybe, wait a minute. Hello? Yeah, Dr. Who's you up? Yeah. So what's the prognosis with red letter May? Yeah, she said that this community is a cult. Yeah, she must be insane. Yeah, because we don't charge anything. Yeah. I offer everything for free. Yeah, I know. No subscription charges, no rules, no regulations. Those are the cults, yeah. Yeah. Well, do you think she's that bad off? Did you just say she's insane? That's a terrible thing to say. You shouldn't say that about her. I think she's just confused. Because you know why? She's in a cult. Yeah, red letter May is in a cult. Yeah. She's in the cult out there where everything they tell you to do is just bad for you, but they all say the same thing, but they don't know why anybody's sick. So she's in that cult. Do you think they have her so brainwashed? That's all it is. She's just brainwashed, right? Because she's in a cult. She's drinking the Kool-Aid over there. You want to straitjacket her? Are you're gonna call the paddy wagon? Oh my God! You sent an order out of Section 8. You sent it to the city. You Section 8 her. Red letter May is getting, the paddy wagon is coming. You Section 8 her. What are they gonna do? They're gonna pull her out of her house screaming. They're gonna yank her out by her hair. Drag her across her front lawn. That's horrible. You're a terrible psychiatrist. Can I recommend that you find another psychiatrist for red letter May? I have a really good psychiatrist for red letter May. Dr. Nesbitt. Yeah, Dr. Nesbitt. He's actually one of the best psychiatrists around, Dr. Nesbitt. Yeah, Dr. Nesbitt might have a message for red letter May. Can you talk to Dr. Nesbitt and see if you guys can come to a conclusion? Dr. Nesbitt might not want to paddy wagon her and put her in a straitjacket and have her in a padded room. He's a better psychiatrist than you. Can you just talk to him? You guys, can you talk for a second? I hear you guys talking. I'm listening. Okay, let me just find out what just happened. Dr. Huziwa, what did Dr. Nesbitt say? Let me ask Dr. Nesbitt, what happened? She's certifiable? Red letter May is certifiable? That's what you guys concluded? Both psychiatrists concluded that red letter May, whatever her name is, right? She's certifiable. You believe that so they should have Section 8 her? Okay. You guys are both bad psychiatrists, in my opinion. Dr. Nesbitt, you disappointed me here. You did. You disappointed me here. Both of you guys are terrible psychiatrists and shouldn't have done that. Yeah. Well, she needs a psychiatrist that won't paddy wagon her and stick her in a straitjacket just because she's in a cult out there. Okay, all right, I gotta go, you guys. Okay. Dr. Nesbitt, can you hang this phone up, please? Okay. All right, so let's, IG kicked you off, Seaweed Hero. Of course they did. Said they're doing nonstop. Rose Jackson says, interesting that someone control you and say mean things, and then when it's dished back, it's hurtful, and they want it to stop. Well, maybe if they stick around, they'll learn something, because I'm going to make some nori rolls right here. I got some nori sheets, you guys. I'm going to make some nori rolls if you guys are okay with that. Let's do that. These are cauliflower rice nori rolls. I got some cauliflower rice right here. Probably going to grind up a little bit more too, but I got some cauliflower rice. This is raw cauliflower rice. I'm going to give it a little grind up. I got some tomatoes. I got some green onions. Let's make a little something. I'm getting hungry. One of the things that happens out there is that it's this, okay? It's, you guys are the suckers. That's what they want. And they're just going to sell you their crap 24/7. That's what they're going to do. They're going to sell you things that actually don't work. They'll sell you the Corella. I can't tell you how many people have got injured by Corella. Barfing in the bathroom for weeks. because chlorella comes with bacteria on it in many situations. Not to mention chlorella doesn't remove toxic heavy metals. It leaves them there. But sometimes if chlorella moves it a little, it drags it and you get sicker, more neurological problems from chlorella. It's a disastrous product right there, all on its own. Charcoal, anytime somebody's swallowing charcoal, it suffocates the lining of their intestinal tract and causes malnutrition. You guys like that? You guys like the charcoal? Keep on swallowing it. How bad is that? Right? I mean, I'm just saying. Spirulina is incredible. Peter, the one I use is this one right here. And I'm not sponsored. It's this spirulina. It's the Vimergy. V as in Victor, I, M as in Mary, E-R-G-Y. Not all spirulina is incredible. A lot of it's just garbage. But this is the best one that I use for my family and friends. And I'm not sponsored. That's the Vimergy spirulina. Yeah, spirulina is amazing if it's the right one too, not the wrong one. That's important to know. The details matter all the time. Then they'll just tell you don't eat cruciferous vegetables, which is critical for your thyroid to heal. And they say the opposite, don't even know. They don't even know why you have a thyroid problem. They don't know why you have Hashimoto's thyroiditis, so why are they the experts? You know what I mean? What is that one? Satguru? That's Spirulina by Vimergy, V as in Victor, I, M as in Mary, E-R-G-Y. Vimergy.com. That's what it is. I'm not sponsored. It's the one I use. It's incredible. It's the cleanest there is out there. It's the best there is. I don't care what anybody says. It is the best. And then at the same time, they'll tell you to go get your B12 shots, which is a disaster. B12 shots. Disaster. I'm not a big fan of Pacific Spirulina, I'm just telling you. I was originally, because it was all that was out there at the time. All that was out there at the time. But it's not the best. It's not the best. It's the Vimergy.com. V as in Victor, I, M as in Mary, E-R-G-Y. Vimergy is the best spirulina. Important to know. You know, you think you're allergic to foods because you feel some of the food moving through you. So you have to remember that food being so fibrous, meaning fruits, vegetables, wild foods, leafy greens, right? When it moves through your intestinal tract, let me bring this over here for a second. When food moves through your intestinal tract, so what I have right here is an intestinal tract in front of you guys right now. Okay? When your intestinal tract gets inflamed and you eat something like a green onion, fibrous, or you eat leafy greens, which are fibrous, okay, or raw cauliflower, which is fibrous, it's going to rub your lining. If your lining is inflamed, you're going to feel it. Rock, SMJ, the Vimergy tinctures are the best. They're incredible. Vimergy.com. V as in Victor, I-M-E-R-G-Y. Loon, good to see you. Lunel. Hey, fooled me for 50 years. I'm so pissed off. Ingy. That's what they do. But I'm giving you kind of a sense of how it works. If your intestinal lining is inflamed, you're going to feel the food moving through you. So then you're going to think maybe that's the problem. That's the food. That's maybe I'm sensitive to that food. That's a mistake all on its own. So you keep that in mind. So that stops people from eating a little bit of lettuce or a little bit of leafy green or, you know, a raw asparagus shoot or some green onion or a little bit of cauliflower. It stops them from eating that. It's sad. Stop it. This is what it does. So Robin says, why do B12 shots help me then? They help you till they don't. They help you till they don't. A couple of reasons why B12 shots help people temporarily. You ready? Here it is. This is the number one reason why a B12 shot helps somebody temporarily. You ready? Oh crap. I'm about to get stuck. Shit. This is going to hurt. Okay. Ow! Okay. Thank you. Doctor, thank you. What you just had was an adrenaline surge. You just had fight or flight. Fight or flight just occurred. You're on adrenaline high. You leave the doctor's office on an adrenaline high. You're now living off an adrenaline high for a very short moment of time. It could last all night, could last into the next morning, and even the next day. You just had a shot of epinephrine from your own adrenals because you went into fight or flight when you had your B12 shot. It wears off fast. And in a week, you'll be getting another B12 shot. That's how it works. Letting you know. That's the number one reason why many people feel that high from their B12 shot. Giving you guys what it is. That is what it is. I teach doctors that all the time. The amount of epinephrine released by getting a B12 shot is unbelievable. You're not sitting there relaxed. You know it's coming. Your adrenals start to flood. Your heart rate increases. You get, boom, hit with it. It hurts. Your adrenals are flooding. They pump it in, which triggers your adrenals. When they pump in the B12, your adrenals get triggered when they pump in the B12. Because it's entering from the outside of the body. You are on an adrenaline high now because your body sees it as not a good thing because it's injected from the outside of the body. And so now you're living on adrenaline. It's a fake high. It's a fraud response. It's a fraud response. That's what it is. It's fraud, 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 fraud. That's what a B12 shot is. It's fraud. The body only receives B12. If you guys get kicked off on IG, go to TikTok Live right now. Clubhouse Live too. TikTok Live. So keep in mind, okay? That's how it works. Guys, I got to start making a little bit of nori, but we got stuff to cover. Let's cover it. I'm not trying to throw you guys off making some food right here. It's just that this is my dinner. So IV intravenous is different. Intravenous in the vein is different. When it's in the vein, the body doesn't see it as an enemy, and you won't become allergic to your B12 down the road. You won't become allergic to your B12 down the road. Keep that in mind. So I got some cauliflower rice. I'm going to throw some more in here. So I'm just going to blend this up right here. I got to grind this up, you guys. Just give me a second. I know you can't. TikTok. You guys can see me on TikTok, right? I'm doing a food processor right now, and I'm blending up some cauliflower rice. We're going to keep it raw tonight. I'm not going to be eating pizza, don't worry. All right. You don't want your cauliflower rice so mushy. You want it just like rice. I like it blended a little bit more, but there you go. So this is it. See you guys? What you're going to get here, whether you like me or not, whether you think I'm ugly or you think I'm annoying or whatever you might think, what you're going to get here is life-saving information. You may not know it's life-saving because you got 9 lives. You're not sick enough yet to know it's life-saving. You might be just not so sick at all where you're playing around in the game of no processed foods and eating clean keto or something, or you're plant-based but you're high-fat and you're doing a little better than you would be. But so wild mystic healing, hot yoga makes your body feel so good. You're running on adrenaline. That's fight or flight. It's fight or flight. Hot yoga kills the adrenals. Get ready for hair loss down the road. That's how women lose their hair from adrenal issues. So hot yoga until your hair falls out down the road and you see it falling out in your hands. And it's not supposed to do that for women. And it just falls out in your hands. So hot yoga is a killer of adrenals. You're putting your body under such stress that your adrenals flood adrenaline to keep you from getting heat stroke. Did you know that? That's how it works. Your adrenals flood while you're in hot yoga doing hot yoga. Your adrenals flood so you don't get heat stroke. So you're on a high, an adrenaline high from hot yoga. Kay Polly says, hot yoga made me feel terrible. It's actually hurt a lot of people. So what women usually do for their hot yoga, they get on a bunch of caffeine. Their adrenals are already going, flooding. They go into hot yoga. Their adrenals go into extra flooding, extra fight or flight. to stop them from dying in hot yoga, stroking out, and getting heat sickness, hyperthermia. So what happens is your adrenals it takes you to that edge. You're not hot yet enough for total hyperthermia in hot yoga, but yet you're close enough so your adrenals go into fight or flight after an hour and a half of hot yoga, and then your adrenals are trying to save your life. The worst thing you could be doing if you do yoga without the hot. That's probably one of the stupidest mistakes in the industry right there. And now I got the hot yoga people mad. So it's like, what are you going to do? Do you guys want me to be straight out and just give you the sensible information? Or do you guys just going to drink the Kool-Aid out there, be brainwashed, and be stuck in the cults out there? This is a cult-free zone. I said that all last year, every single live we did. We don't like the cults. This is a cult-free zone. You want to be in the hot yoga cults, the kombucha tea cults, the bone broth cults, the apple cider vinegar cults. You want to be in the oil pulling cults. You want to be in all the cults. That's what you want to be in, but nothing sensible. You want to be in the caffeine cults, the cacao cults. You want to be in the ayahuasca cults. If you want to be in the cults, and that's what you love to do, you love to drink Kool-Aid. You guys love to drink Kool-Aid? You love to be brainwashed? You guys love to be brainwashed? That's what you guys like to do? It's like you guys love to be brainwashed, right? You guys love to be brainwashed? You want some nutritional yeast? You guys love to be a sheep? You guys are sheeple. You guys want to be... You guys, what else? What else? You guys want the chocolate? You guys want to be in the cacao cults? Right? Here, go ahead. Keep on eating your chocolate. Be a sheep. Sheeple. Keep on eating your cacao. That's right. Wait for the... Yep. Keep on getting high. The drug dealers are going to keep you high forever. Yep, be a sheep. It's a psychoactive drug. Be a sheep. What else? What other cults we got on here? Huh? Let's keep it going. Lots of cults. All right. I got to make some nori rolls. Look. It's like this, okay? I think I'll put a little lemon on this one. It's like this. It's tough love here. I get it. It's tough love, okay? It's tough love. Because I don't have to do this. I don't have to do this. I don't. I can write the books. The publisher puts them out in the world. Okay? They're in almost every country in the world. #1 best-selling books in the world in health. I don't have to sit here and do free information, life-saving information 24/7 like I do. I don't have to do it. Should I just go to a beach somewhere and get a coconut in one hand and mango drink in another hand and just forget about it? I can't. It's you guys gotta. You guys need the information. You guys need the information. Because every time I try to even rest, yeah, cacao is a psychoactive drug. Burns your neurotransmitters out, just burns them out over time. Caffeine burns them out. Burns your adrenals out over time. And you might not be sick. Cold White Spring, good to see you. Actually, sheep are more intelligent than humans. That was funny. And Ingy says I'm dying, I needed to laugh. The whole point is that you guys, if you're not that sick, you can play around in the cults. You get sick, the cults screw you over. They don't care about you. They care about you. All the apple cider vinegar people care about you. Everybody cares about you out there, you guys. I know that. All the collagen people care about you. Collagen industry, they really care about you, huh? Oh, they really care. Right? It's Jim Jones stuff. It's Jim Jones Kool-Aid, right? Did Jim Jones care about all his people before he had them drink cyanide Kool-Aid? Killed 1,000 people? Children and all? Right? They don't care. They don't care about the caffeine industry doesn't care about you. I didn't know the caffeine industry really cared about you guys. The caffeine industry really loves you guys. They care about you. They care. They care when you lose all your teeth from all that adrenaline acid from caffeine. And they care when you got your dentures in and you got your bridges in when you're older. They care when your adrenals are burnt out and you can't function. Caffeine industry sure cares about you guys. Oh, yeah. Everybody cares about you. PsychMD says, so you're a psychologist, MD. I love your information, but people should know that you take scientific studies and put them in a book. You're not a doctor. You have no degree, and they could find the information you give on pubmed.gov. You're just great at delivering information. I think I have a psychiatrist calling in now, too. Actually, you know who's calling in? I don't think I have a psychiatrist appointment. I think I got somebody else calling in. Let's see. All I know is somebody's calling. Hey, yeah. Yeah, I know. The Psych MD guy? Yeah. What do you think? You think he's a fake doctor? He's got to be a fake doctor. I know. He's a fraud. Uh-huh. Yeah. Because if he was a real doctor, he would know that all the information is unique and original for Medical Medium. Yeah. And it's published here first, and then science takes it later. Fact. Uh-huh. What do you think? You think he can't be a doctor? No. He's a faker. Because he would know this. He would look into it. Because doctors are intelligent, and they would actually look into it. Yeah. Uh-huh. Medical Medium information is not on any place except for Medical Medium. And if someone takes it, it was published here first. I know. What do you think? It's just a fraud? I know, God. These frauds. I know. Amazing. Yeah, the guy's a fraud. Yeah, he can't be a psychiatrist. He can't be any kind of doctor. He's got to be a fraud. Yeah, I know. Good call. It is what it is. All right, let's make a nori roll. That's what we need to do. All right. So what I'm doing right here, I'm putting the cauliflower rice in. Love it. This is raw cauliflower rice. Let's get it in here, okay? Nice. All right, we got that going. All right, you guys, let's split a green onion. You know, I made a few of these already tonight, and I woofed them down. Could not help it. Let's pop a green onion in here. Let's do that. Flip the onions just like that, you guys. You watching? Let's get a tomato in here. Now, don't be afraid of tomatoes. The attack on tomatoes is ridiculous. It's by people that don't know why anybody's sick. People that don't know why anyone's sick. You know what's a fact? A fact is that nobody knew what caused chronic illness unless they read the Medical Medium books. It's a fact because they don't know what cause unknown. Science and research, both alternative medicine and conventional medicine, is cause unknown with autoimmune. Did you know that? Cause unknown. Did you guys know that? You keep freezing up on TikTok? I'm going to put some cilantro here. Anthony William has Matlin Mary says, Anthony William has more credibility than every doctor I have seen. You know what it is? It's because you've been sick. See, I noticed that the naysayers and the cults, the naysayers and the gurus of the cults out there, I noticed that they haven't been sick enough yet. They haven't been sick enough yet. You got to be sick to know what's going on, too. That's another thing all on its own. All right, so I'm going to put some spices in here if you guys are okay. A little paprika in here, all right? I'm going to put a little... I'm going to hold off on that one for now. I'll put a little bit of garlic powder in another one. This one just want paprika. It's going to have a good flavor on its own. I got the cilantro right here. I'm going to just roll this baby up. That's right. Rolling that baby up. That's what we're doing. Let's put that baby there. Let's get another one going and put a little lemon on here to wetten up the sheet. MD with Spirit. Nowhere on PubMed.gov does it talk about B12 shots leading to allergic reactions to any B12 later on. Thank you, Dr. Fon. A real MD. A real MD. An amazing, thriving practice. Yep. Not a fraud, fake, commenting troll. Yeah, let's put some dulse in this one. Let's get some more cauliflower rice going in here, you guys. So back to what I was saying before with the food allergy testing. That's one of the most shadiest areas too. Like that's another shady area right now. And it has been for years. People so sick going into their doctors to get food allergy tested and being told they're allergic to foods that can help them heal. What do you guys think about that? I'm curious. How do you feel about that? People being told they're allergic to foods. This is dulse right here. Look at this. Nice and moist. Okay? Put a couple little pieces in here. This one I'm going to keep some dulse out. I'm going to do a couple. This one I'm going to do a little bit more plain. Let me put a scallion, of course, in here. Go this way. It's going to be just one scallion for this one. Awesome. This one I'm going to do a little extra tomato. That's what I'm going to do because everybody is so against tomatoes these days. Let's just do a little rebellious action. Let's do a little extra tomato in this one. This is going to be great. There we go. Little extra tomato. I want you guys to know all the tricks and traps out there. I mean, don't you deserve to know all the tricks and traps? I just want to ask you that. Is that okay? The tricks and the traps? I mean, do you guys want to know? My doctors always meant well, but they never helped me. Callie Smith, they always mean well. Absolutely. Doctors go into it to heal people. They go into it with a couple of things. They want to make six figures. A lot of doctors go in because, well, what can I do? Be a doctor or a lawyer, right? A lot of families want their sons and daughters to be a doctor or a lawyer, so you pick which one. Do you want to go into law or do you want to go into medicine? It's the first thing, too, that hits a lot of people. Also, a lot of doctors just have passion. They want to heal people. They want people healed. It's not about the six figures. It's not about that a year. They just want patients to heal. They want to change the world. They go into it like that as well, right? And even if people go in it for the wrong reason to start to become a doctor, they still, in the end, want people to heal and they want to save lives. So I believe in the mission of the oath and the mission of doctors 100%. And there's some great doctors out there. I know surgeons that are just amazing surgeons, just great guys. And women too, surgeons. But the system is not set up for healing chronic illness. The system is not set up for chronic illness. The system is not set up for mystery chronic illness, like talked about in the new edition. You guys, this is $17 on Amazon.com US. Revised and expanded, the new edition. You guys should check it out. The price is unbelievable, 53% off. Boot says, my friend wanted to be a doctor and then saw what happened to me in college with chronic illness and backed out. That's interesting. It's interesting. Pharma wants people sick. Pharma needs people sick. That's what pharma needs. They need people to be sick. It's something they need. It's, keep that in mind. They have to. They have to. If you get healthy, they worry about the dollars and cents. Did you know that? They worry about the pennies. One person gets healthy, they're pissed off. Just pissed off. That's how it works. Not the doctors, the people at the top. Shareholders, the stakeholders. The stakeholders need you sick. That's what they need. This is coming together good. I just forgot the scallion in this one. So let me split this right here. The stakeholders need you sick. That's the deal. That's how it has to roll. And if you're getting better from your celery juice, your heavy metal detox smoothie, your Vimergy supplements, your traditional medicinal teas, your Wyman's Wild Blueberry Juice, if you're getting better from anything, it's not a happy place. It's not a happy place for the industries. Now, the caffeine industry needs you addicted to caffeine. They are part of the medical industry too, because the caffeine industry sells caffeine to the medical industry. That's why caffeine's in most of the drugs. Caffeine is in most drugs with Big Pharma. They're in bed together. They've been in bed together. They know you're going to buy your coffee and your chocolate and everything else, but they also know they're going to be able to stick caffeine in all the drugs without your permission. Without your permission. For no good reason, only because it's part of the industry. It's like, it's all part of it. That's how it's done. Got some tomato in here. Again, I got some cauliflower rice again. Okay? Right? Got a little bit more cauliflower rice here. Love it. It's so good. You can cook it too. I just like it raw right here. Freedom Through Spirit said this is why the FDA is starting to review certain supplements because it's threatening to their industry and they are in bed with them. Well, they need to own the supplements so this way, you know, they can make all the money. They make all the money, you know. Plus, they'll give you the crappy version, the one that doesn't help you heal. they'll do prescription only, and it'll be the like psilocybin B12, which is disastrous because that's the big pharma B12 is the psilocybin. It's not funny. I know it's not funny, but it is what it is. Kat says, if you aren't reading the MM books, you aren't going to be able to do the right thing by yourself, right by yourself in your healing process. Taking pieces of MM info is a small part of this healing process. Yeah, it's true. It's. Thank you. I'm honored that you have strong faith in medical medium information, but it's got a street cred and it's got credibility. It's got a track record of getting people better and getting lives back. So it's got this track record of doing so. So that's the good news. At least you can be confident in that. You know, you guys, it's not like you just like me as a person and you're here to be amused or something for the moment, you know. But it's one of those things where the street cred is there, the credibility is there. Check out the B12 podcast, the Medical Medium podcast at Apple Podcast, you guys. The B12 episode. Check it out. The coffee matcha tea chocolate episode. The blood draw episode. Right? The apple cider vinegar episode. Are you guys being careful? I just got a question to ask you guys. I hate bugging you guys. Is it okay if I ask you a question? Okay? Paola says, medical medium is helping me heal long COVID neurological symptoms. Grateful to God. Long COVID neurological symptoms is caused by viruses that we have inside of us, like Epstein-Barr shingles, simplex 1, cytomegalovirus, HHV6, HHV7, HH8, HHV8, HHV10 through HHV16. And I talk all about the plague in here, you guys. There's a whole section on how to heal from the plague and any kind of long symptoms because of it, just so you know. It's 53% off Amazon.com US. That's the new edition, though. Don't get confused. It's a new edition. You guys, this is my last roll-up I'm making here, and then I'm going to cut them in a second, so just bear with me. Let's talk about acids. Let's talk about acids for a little bit, okay? What's happening is everybody is acidifying themselves to death right now. That's what people are doing. They're acidifying themselves to death. They're caffeining themselves to death. They're fatting themselves to death. Their fats are too high in their diet. Their acids are too high from things like kombucha tea and bone broth and things like apple cider vinegar and vinegars. Too much salt. They're just acidifying themselves to death with so much that they're doing. Dehydrating themselves is what they're doing. People are over salting themselves. So just see in medical medium recipes, if you want to add a tiny pinch of a good salt in there, fine. But what's good about the medical medium recipes is the salts are coming from natural places. It's about the leafy greens. The sodium is about coming out of the leafy greens right here. It's about coming out of the cilantro and the parsley and the spinach and the lemon. Lemon's got sodium in it. The good kind. The good kind. The electrolyte. Why is kombucha tea bad? Isn't it good probiotics? The probiotics in kombucha tea is the probiotic that lives on death. So you have to keep that in mind. It's not the kind you have in your gut, all right? I got a piece of kale. Maybe I don't have it anymore, but I had a piece of kale from my garden and I might have eaten it all today, but I'm going to check in a second. No, I did. I ate them all. I think I got the kale stems, which I was going to use. I got the kale stems, though, that were left behind, right? So what I did was So I had 3 pieces of kale for my garden, right? Okay? The kale had elevated biotics in it, on it. I mean, in between the leaves, the crevices of the kale. That's living microorganisms that fill your gut. Those are the kind that our gut is supposed to have. They're on life. Living microorganisms that live on life, living food, is the kind that works. Kombucha tea, okay, only harbors death pathogens, not pathogens, sorry, death microorganisms. Death microorganisms. It's like when an animal dies in the woods and these microorganisms, these microorganisms of death devour the body. When you hit a squirrel in the road, the squirrel sits there too long, instantly all this bacteria starts to eat away and devour it. That's bacteria, microorganisms that actually feed off of death. Okay? So your kombucha tea, your fermented foods, your kimchi, that's all bacteria that doesn't survive or thrive. You just poop it out. It dies and you poop it out. So it dies and you poop it out. Your HCl, whatever HCl you got left in you, kills it, you poop it out. But you can't poop out the microorganisms that live on life, that live on living things, like this kale. These are the kale stems, which I'm going to use. I'm going to use the kale stems. It's just that I stripped off the leaves and ate that tonight. Let's put a little tomato in this one now. Kombucha tea turns your blood into acid. If you don't believe me about the microorganism talk I'm giving you right now, if you don't believe that because there's too many cults out there, the cult out there is all about saying the same thing. You want your probiotics, you want your kombucha tea, you want all that. If you're stuck with all the cult talk and rhetoric and brainwashing rhetoric, if you're stuck in that, then listen to this. Kombucha tea is so acidified, it's so acidic that it turns your blood into acid. So you lose your bones. You lose your bones. You guys got to know how important that is. You have to know how important that is, okay? So here's how it works. Do you know why? I told you guys this other day. You know why you crack your skull open easier when you fall off your bicycle when you're 65 years old? Because you spent a lifetime dissolving your bones. Your skull, you urinate out every day. Every morning you get up in the morning and you pee in the toilet. If your diet's got acidifying stuff in it, you're urinating a very tiny amount of your own skull out of your body every single morning. Every single morning. But your skull has a lot of bone in it when you're 20 years old. You're doing your coffee when you're 20 years old. It's not affecting you quite yet. You're doing your vinegars and all your salads and all your restaurant food, and you're doing your vinegars and all your restaurant food. You got vinegar in every single dish, and all the store-bought food you buy in containers at the health food store all got vinegar in it. You're doing your kombucha tea, straight acid, all these acids like the vinegars and the ACV and the kombucha tea and the caffeine, all that acid-forming stuff and acid-producing stuff eventually dissolves your bones. So your teeth start going first. And now you're 32 years old and you're in the dentist every day and you thought your keto diet was helping. You thought your vegan diet was helping. You thought your animal protein clean diet was helping, but you're losing your teeth. Your teeth are starting to fall apart at age 32 and you're like, how's this possible? Now I got to get veneers and all this other stuff. How's this all possible? And you because you're urinating your skull out of your body every single day. Because your calcium has to buffer your bloodstream. So you guys acidify yourself. Every cup of coffee you drink, every piece of chocolate you eat every single day, you lose a little bit more of yourself, your skeleton, every single day. That's why all the women get osteopenia later on. All of them. You get the osteopenia, osteoporosis, and alkaline water ain't going to help. It ain't going to help. It ain't going to help. It's not going to stop any of that. You're still doing your vinegars, you're still doing your kombucha tea, you're still doing your caffeines, you're still doing all your acids, and you're still eating a high-fat acid diet. Fatty acid. Did you guys know that? Did you guys know that? Keep on eating all your fats. Keep on tanking all your fats, and you will lose your bones. Fatty acids. Fatty acids. And then you're walking along and you slip on a little patch of ice because you're up north visiting a friend, or you live somewhere in the cold, and you slip on a little ice and you bang your head at 45 years old, 48 years old, and you get a fracture when you weren't supposed to get a fracture. Sandra says, what is the best natural source of calcium? I'll tell you where you don't want to get your calcium. You don't want to get it from dairy products, and you don't want to eat these because these are also really acidifying too. You don't want to eat those. That's another epic disaster right there. Citrus is a place to get your calcium, so you get the bioavailable calcium. That's why you see citrus right here. That's one place all on its own. Citrus, important to know. Calcium-rich soil, your lemon trees, your orange trees, your lime trees are in calcium-rich soils. And if they're not in a calcium-rich soil, the roots will actually suck every last piece of calcium you can possibly find in that soil for the fruit, because the fruit is high in calcium. And the miracle of the lemon, lime, orange tree, tangerine tree, grapefruit tree is it pulls that calcium out of the earth and it gives it back to you. And so that's one. The other one is leafy greens. Where are you guys eating all your leafy greens? When are you eating your leafy greens? This is cilantro. You got to get your kale. You got to get your cilantro. Lots of spinach. Just giving you the rundown now. Giving you the rundown. All right, let me roll up this nori roll right here. Let's cut these babies. These are moistened up a little too much, so the nori sheet's a little too moist right here. Citrus is not acidic in the body. So citrus is not acidic in the body. It may be what chefs call acid. I love that. Chef, did you put enough acid in the meal? Chef, where's your acid? Oh, good, you put lemon in there. You put vinegar in there. Vinegar's really bad. That's acetic acid. That's different. But it's like, yeah, I put some lemon in there. I put some lime in there. I'm being a good chef. Yeah, that is a good chef. But it's not technically acid. In the body, it's alkaline. The lemon, the lime is alkaline. It's high in calcium. High in calcium. That's the difference. Don't get that confused with fruit acid, which is actually also alkaline in the body. That's the whole point. So I'm going to cut these right here. So I'm making nori rolls, you guys. Cauliflower rice nori rolls right now. And I'm actually slicing these up. Okay, let's see what we got here. Butter is not acidic to the taste. Butter is not acidic, right? Butter, you guys. Butter is not acidic when you taste it on your tongue, but inside the body, it is beyond acidic. Butter fat, buttermilk is so acidic in the body, you lose your calcium. Pelpmit says, but the dentist says citrus is acidic. They say don't eat pineapple and lemon or your teeth enamel will waste away. The dentist is wrong. The dentist is wrong. You know what's sad about that? Your dentist shouldn't be wrong. You know what's sick? You know what's sick and demented? Your doctor should never be wrong. Your dentist should never be wrong. But why are they always wrong? How messed up is that? Like, what kind of world are we in? Like, think about that. How many times are they wrong? Did you know the shingles virus is not the chickenpox? Did you know the chickenpox is a different virus? It's an individual virus. It's a chickenpox virus. Did you know that? It's in the herpes family, but it's not shingles. Why is it that the medical industry can sit there and lie to your faces and lie to their own medical doctors in medical school and just lie and commit fraud to the point where you're at the doctor's office and your doctor says, oh, shingles is shingles is the chickenpox. Why is it that they have to be wrong? Aren't you spending good money? Isn't health everything? Isn't health everything? So when your child has eczema and it's so bad and your doctor says it's genes and your doctor's wrong because it's not genes, it's copper inside the liver and viral issues. So why is it that everybody's wrong in the health field in these areas? I know a neurosurgeon who removes aneurysms out of the brain with a robot. He's not wrong. He's a surgeon and he's doing nuts and bolts. But why is it in chronic illness and most everything else, why are they wrong? Like, Think about that. Your dentist should never be wrong. It doesn't make any sense that they are. How is that possible? I'll tell you how it's possible. You're going to your dentist for one right thing. So your dentist can drill out that freaking cavity and put a composite in there so you're not in pain. And if he's a good dentist or she's a good dentist and she's good with her hands and drills, you got a great dentist. And they're not wrong. But here's where they're wrong. When they're playing around with diet and foods and theories and cult-ridden theories, that's when they're wrong. It's almost like stay in your lane if you don't know anything. Just drill the teeth, fill in the composites, and that's fine. See you later. But when they give out information that is completely wrong because it's tidbits of bad theories, all encapsulated by cults out there, misinformation, it's sad. Why do they have to be wrong? Fluoride was wrong. Mercury fillings was wrong for years and years and decades. Why does the dentist have to be wrong? Why did they have to be wrong with all the mercury they stuck in everybody's heads? Why did they have brains? Why did they have to be wrong with all the fluoride treatments, which is a neurotoxin? That's a byproduct of aluminum. So here they are fluoriding your children to death. Like, why do they have to be wrong? Do you think something screwed up with this world? Isn't your healthcare provider supposed to be right with everything? That's why they're trained. That's why you're going to them. Your healthcare providers are supposed to be right about everything. This is your health and this is your life. Why are they wrong with almost everything? What? Isn't this planet Earth, science dictates everything, science rules everything, science is so smart, you go through all this training, you spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to get through school, you're now a dentist, you're now a doctor, you're now a health guru, you know all of it, but yet you're wrong with 90% of it? Does that make any sense to you guys? What does that mean? Tell me how does that work? It's like, but later on, it's like, oh, sorry, shit, ooh, sorry. I just put all this mercury in you. Lily says anger is not healing. Correct, it's not. Correct, it's not. But you know what else is not healing? Having the back of the chronically ill. That's not healing. So, do you want me to have the back of the chronically ill? I don't think you're that sick. If you were that sick and been to your 10th or 15th doctor, been through hell and back, spent $100,000, been given bad drugs that hurt you, been given bad alternative therapies that didn't work for you, and you've been through hell and back, wouldn't you want somebody fighting for you? Wouldn't you want somebody that has your back? Oh, you just want to call it anger or something and it's not healing? Or was that just to somebody else in the comment section that was upset about something and I'm completely wrong? If I am, forgive me, 100%. But if it's actually a jab to me, which it might not be, but if it was or intended that way, I got your back no matter what. And I told you, you don't have to like my delivery and you don't have to like me as a person. You don't have to like what I say. But guess what? The information is saving lives and I give it to you straight and you get the answers and you get the truth. And it's not because I'm a smart person. I told you that, guys. I told you that you guys over and over again, I'm not a smart person. I was born with a gift to hear information through the source I get it from, which has saved lives since I was 4 years old. Doesn't mean I had to be a smart person. I just had to have the ability to handle that kind of pressure. And that's why I have the responsibility. Which is, no fun. I can tell you that. Definitely no fun. When people are screwed over and over again, they're just totally screwed over, that's angering. Don't you think so, you guys? Like, why is it your dentist is wrong about all these things? Why is it the health professionals are wrong? Like, how come? Isn't your healthcare provider supposed to be like right about everything? This is your children's health. This is your health. This is everything. But yet, they're wrong every second. Here's fluoride. Here's a... here's a B12 shot. Here's a, this is a couple of things. We can talk about it all day. And did you ever think about that? It's like, how come? Like, aren't they supposed to be isn't it supposed to be flawless? Right? We're in the 21st century. Isn't science supposed to have it all down? Yeah. But here's how the cults work. They brainwash you so they think they make you think they have it all down. So you then walk out of your dentist office with a piece of information that Big Pharma loves you to think. Don't have a lemon, because when you have your lemon water every morning, you're getting your health back, and you're going to see your doctors less and your dentist less, and you're not going to need drugs, and you're going to keep your teeth when you do your lemon water. And your dentist might not know it because they're not educated about it, but Big Pharma knows that if you get healthier, it's trouble. It's in paradise. I'm going to do a double stack on these. Do you guys mind for a second here? Double stack. So I'm just slicing these up right here. These noris look amazing, really. I told you guys that, I told you what happened, right? It's in the new edition. Let me find it right now. People think I got this big ego, and they'll be like, oh, he's arrogant. He thinks he knows everything. I don't. I fall on my face. I make mistakes. But where I get the information has never been proven wrong, ever. It's only been proven right. Medical Medium Mommy, Trinity, what are you doing? If you have ever really been sick and seen the best doctors in the world has to offer, you get how nobody but MM has this information on how to heal. Sorry I read that so choppy. I'm honored. Boots McGee. How you doing, Boots McGee? Science is a human construct subject to fallibility. It's so funny how many people I say that to, and they self-destruct. By the way, that's mind-blowing. And I totally get it. And that's mind-blowing. Because it's true. It's true. Science is definitely fallible. For sure. So, and it truly is. So I want to read something right here. See if I can find it too. You guys, the funny thing is, by the way, this is 53% off. Amazon.com. And I'm just trying to find a little spot for you, okay? Okay, so in the early days of my work, okay, sometimes what I can do is so empowering that I let the feeling of being all-knowing go to my head. This is when I was younger. A good example is the time my neighbor approaches me about his wife, who can't walk or use her legs. She's been to dozens of doctors, and none of them have helped. My neighbor tells her, look, Anthony seems to know a lot about this stuff. Let's take a chance. When they ask me what the problem could be that doctors can't seem to find, I ask Spirit of Compassion, who informs me that she has arsenic poisoning, traces of arsenic in her brain that have come from their well. Shortly after, a well water analysis confirms the presence of arsenic. Her doctor then performs a blood test which shows unacceptable levels of arsenic in her blood. With Spirit's recommendations on how to remove the toxic heavy metal from her system, within a year, she's able to walk again. I'm in my garden pulling up some onions for a salad. It's one of my favorite herbs to grow. When my neighbor comes around, I just want to thank you again, Anthony, he says. We went all over the country to meet top experts, and they couldn't do a thing. It doesn't make any sense. Somehow you knew exactly what was wrong and what she needed. I don't know how this is possible. You're not even a doctor. I looked at him with onions in my hand and say, it's because I'm always right. I can fix any problem because there's nothing I'm wrong about. Just remember that. I'm always right and will always be right. Then I turn around. I walk a few feet and turn back to say, and don't forget it. When I step on a rake that slaps me in the face so hard it knocks me out. As I lie on the ground, my concerned neighbor rushes to my side and stands over me. In my dazed state, I think he's my constant companion, spirit of compassion, who speaks to me since age 4. And I ask, Spirit of the Most High replies, I'm always right, you're always wrong. That's the spirit of compassion told me in that garden when I was laying in there, when I was waking up from being knocked out by the rake. He said, I'm always wrong, is what he said. He said he's always right. Spirit of compassion said he's always right. That's why medical medium information has never been proven wrong yet. Only proven right by science when science steals it after it's been published. I'm always right, you're always wrong. Remember that. I'm always right, you're always wrong. Whenever I get carried away, I think of that moment. It's a reminder that while some of the things I do as a healer with the power of spirit of compassion might be considered miraculous, because that's what's happened throughout my life, I'm still a regular guy who can miss the mark if I'm not listening to what spirit has to say. That's the new edition, you guys, by the way. I don't know if you have the book, Medical Medium New Edition, 53% off Amazon.com. Let me stack these up. Get it free at the library, but I heard the other day, it's like people are waiting, I get it. Just if you got patience, you can get it free at the library. Maybe try a couple of different libraries. Yeah, you can do that. I'm not against science. Not against science at all. But science is paid for. It's biased, it's tricky, and in many cases, it's been weaponized against the people. And science is designed so that people become sheeple. Okay? And you guys, I'm on this new diet that's popular out there. It's called the Venison Diet. So what I did was I got this fella, a deer. A friend caught him for me, and we're going to slaughter him tonight. And I'm going to get some venison steaks going. Don't worry, the deer doesn't have a soul, right? Yeah, it does. It has a soul. We're going to leave you alone, buddy, and we're not going to slaughter you tonight. Don't worry. No way. Venison is not on my table tonight. Letting you guys know. Oh, got to move this over here. You guys, I got to make some quick sauce. Really quick sauce right here. Let's do it. Let's get a bowl out. Boom. Let's get some squeezed orange in here. Just showing you right here. I need a sauce for this. Get another orange really quick. Okay. Making a little sauce. Right? Got a big mess to clean up tonight. I can tell. I'm going to put some hot pepper in here. So I'm going to put hot pepper in the sauce. I'm just going to pop it in there, mix it up in there. I'm going to put some honey in here too. Let's do that. A little bit of honey, and I'm going to pop some lime in this one too. A little bit of lime in there, right? And then I'm going to throw a clove of garlic in here too. That clove of garlic just hit the floor. So let's get a clove of garlic in here, making the quick sauce. Okay, you guys. Let's chop this up. A little garlic in there as well. Let's mix this up. It's a little honey, a little bit of orange. Can you guys see that? And then we have, that's the sauce, incredible. That's the cauliflower rice nori rolls. Look at that. This is a raw meal tonight. I'm excited. I'm gonna dip some in. You guys, I love you. God bless you. TikTok, be safe, you guys. IG, be safe. Just know I care. And Clubhouse, just know I care. This is insane. God bless you guys. I'll see you next time.